What's up, guys? It is Thanksgiving, 10:30 in the morning, and we've got a couple hours until we have to go to dinner with the family. We're leaving for the track in the morning, so I've got to do a bunch of stuff because I always do it last minute. Galfer sent me out one new rotor because I had to send them back their brand new ones that came in warped. So we'll find out this weekend if that fixed it. And that was a whole 2-3 month ordeal arguing with them. Absolutely terrible customer service, and frankly I wouldn't buy anything else from them again, but I'm hoping that this works out. I've got to change to engine ice because I've just got water wetter in there right now and it's supposed to be below freezing at night. Clean and lube the chain and do an oil change in the bike and an oil change in the generator, as well as load the trailer back up. So that's what we're going to start with, is getting the trailer moved out of the way because the generator is in that garage over there. And then we'll get going on everything. All right, so I put a little $50 Amazon Wi-Fi camera on here, and it does the job good enough for me. The only thing I use it for is lining up the hitch. So as you can see, it's not that hard to do. Boy, can you get better than that? I don't think so. Not for 50 bucks at least. Let that warm up so we can do the oil in that. These need to go back in here. There she is. Make sure battery's not dead. We are good. Probably throw it on the tender tonight just to be safe. That's it. So, as you can see here, we've got one used one and one brand new one. So I bought these rotors brand new. You could still see all the machining marks on them. They were barely used. They shook from the very beginning. Did they leave me a note? Give this whole rotor back. Okay. Don't think they were supposed to ship that. But they shook bad from the very beginning. I ended up getting another wheel. I did wheel bearings. I took apart my calipers, cleaned out everything, made them spotless. Couldn't figure out what the shake was coming from. And I doubted that it was these because they were Galfers. It's a big name brand. They're not cheap. So then I started reaching out to Galfer, or attempting to, and called them over and over. I sent them emails, no response. So I called Sport Bike Track here, who I bought them from, and asked them, hey, who's your rep at Galfer? So they gave me a single person's email. I emailed him, told him I couldn't get in contact with them. He was great. He got me in contact with them. Then I said, hey, I'll pay and ship them back to you just for you guys to inspect them because something is clearly wrong. So they stop answering again, go through this whole process. Finally, they're like, okay, send them. So I ship them out to them. They receive them, don't hear anything. Reach out to them again. Then they're like, oh yeah, we're getting to it today. One of yours was actually warped, but we're actually out of stock right now. So hopefully by the end of the month, which this was like the first week of the month, like hopefully by the end of the month we'll be in stock. If not, you know, maybe the super bike rotors, if we have those in stock, we could give you those, but they are more money, so you would have to pay the difference. First of all, customer service. I send you a bad product, you send it back to me. I don't have what it takes to get it right. I have the next level up. Customer service, you should have just gave me the better ones, but whatever. So I said, I'll wait. So I ended up waiting. Then finally, after the end of the month, didn't hear anything. So I emailed them again, and they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. We actually do have them. We're gonna get them shipped out to you tomorrow. What size shirt do you wear? Beanie. So they gave me a couple little swag things. And this is where we are. So this weekend we'll find out if they actually are any good. But that's where we stand, and it was a pretty bad experience all the way around for them. You know, I understand products aren't always perfect, but if you send me a bad product, I expect the customer service of a big company to at least be, you know, pretty good. But I couldn't even get a response half the time. So we are going to install these on the wheel, put the wheel back on. I'm not going to safety wire it right now because when we get to the track, I'm getting new tires put on. And then we'll start ripping off the fairings, get the coolant drained out of it, and go from there. So very important, when you're putting your rotors on, you want to make sure that all of your mating surfaces are clean. There's no paint if somebody's painted your wheels. Same thing with the back of these. You can see I had so very important when you're putting your rotors on. You want to make sure that all of your mating surfaces are clean. There's no paint if somebody's painted your wheels. Same thing with the back of these. You can see I had previously taken a razor blade, scraped any little bit off the back, and this is the one that they claim was good. Now we're gonna go get some Loctite. All right, so we are gonna put a little dab will do ya. I'll get them all in there first. All right, now we're gonna get them all hand tight first. Torque them in a star pattern, just like everything else. Well, first thing is done. Now we'll start taking off the fairings so we could drain the coolant and refill it with engine ice. Now we've got access to everything. Mainly this fill. It's hard to get to with that fairing sitting over it, so that's the main reason we take it off. Gonna drain the coolant from here. Crack this guy open. So we literally just put this water and water wetter in there like 2 weeks ago when we did all the hoses, but now it's gonna be below freezing, so we need to switch it out and we're going back to engine ice. I just grabbed the water wetter because once again it was the night before the track day. I was doing everything and I didn't have anything, so best thing I could find was water wetter, so that's why that went in there. But going back to engine ice, it'll stay engine ice, but right now we're just draining it. Got the cap off, pull the drain bolt, let everything flow out. If you have a little bit of trouble, just squeeze some hoses and it'll come out. Then we'll fill this back up with the engine ice, and then after that, on this, all we've got left is doing oil change, which I don't have oil, so I'll be doing that probably tomorrow morning. But I do have the oil for the generator, so I should have time to knock that out too before we go to dinner. So while that's draining, we can get into the topic of how do you get into track days, what do you need to do a track day, and all of that good stuff. So I started on my GSXR 600 probably about 4 years ago. And first things first, in the Southeast, there's really 3 track day organizations. There's Sport Bike Track Time, there's Track Day Winners, and there's N2. I've ridden with all of them. I prefer Sport Bike Track Time or Track Day Winners over N2, but like for Road Atlanta, there's only a couple days a year between all of them that you can get on there on a bike, so I just ride with whoever. I don't really have any problems with them. But basically, you go at any of their websites, all their events are on there. They each have their own rules for the most part. They're pretty similar. And just make sure that you have everything that's in the rule book. Basic stuff is going to be, I'll take you over to the trailer and show you. You need a suit, you're going to need boots, you need a helmet, and you're going to need gauntlet gloves, which are the ones that go above your wrist. When you get to advanced, I know Sport Bike Track Time requires a back protector. That's when I got it, and now I just wear it every time. And I actually just bought an airbag vest that hasn't come in yet. You need your bike, can't be leaking any fluids. Make sure your fork seals are good. Make sure you have good tires. Brake pads, make sure you have at least 50% life on those. Make sure your chain's in good shape. You know, all the basic stuff. And then that's all the necessities of track days. But for comfort and stuff, you're going to want to bring a canopy. I've got some chairs, a table to put all your stuff on. In the garage, I emptied out my trailer, but I bring a generator, fans, put your helmet on, and that's pretty much it. Bring a cooler, lots of fluids, don't want to dehydrate. And that's pretty much it. So I got more chairs here, and it's one of those things, the more you do, the more stuff you acquire. So it's taken me a couple of years, and now I've got a pretty good setup. But bring my cooler, these chairs, kick back, lay down. This flips up, put your helmet on top of it, dries out all your sweat. Nice blower fan on hot days. A little space heater for inside the trailer on cold days. I've got AC in the trailer. Need to insulate it still, but we're getting there. But yeah, you want to make sure throttle closes itself, brakes work, operational kill switch. Make sure everything on your bike's tight. Nothing's gonna do that. You gotta make sure you have a functional back brake, even though you don't really use it. Make sure your lever's good. My chain needs to be cleaned. You do want a good bit of play in your chain, because once you're on it and it compresses and you're riding, you need room. If it's too tight, it's going to be messing up your suspension. You're not going to be able to get the feedback from the bike that you want. So you do want some play in your chain. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Once you do that, you go do your first track day, and then all the fun starts. You see people's bikes and you're like, hey, what's this? Oh, that's a case cover, so if you crash, as you can see, this has happened. This protects your engine case. A lot of people don't like frame sliders. These were on it when I bought it, so I didn't take them off. But on track, they say, you know, if you crash with a frame slider, sometimes it'll catch and send the bike tumbling, versus if you didn't have it and you just have case covers, the bike just slides. So, you know, it's preference. Like I said, they were on there. I didn't take them off. If I was building a bike, I probably wouldn't put them on. But yeah, the more you see at the track, people are like, you'll see someone's bike. Oh, what's that? That's a quick shifter. Oh, what's that do? Well, I can shift gears without ever letting off the gas or pulling in the clutch. You're like, oh wow, I need that. I've got that. Now I want the new bikes, and I want an auto blip on there, which lets me downshift as well without using the clutch. So it's all clutchless, faster than your hand will ever be. Steel braided lines, you know, not necessary, but everybody's got them. And what that does is gives you better feel in your brakes, because when you squeeze the lever and all that fluid's being pushed through a rubber line, the line's going to swell. Steel braided does not swell, gives you better feedback. You get into aftermarket brake master cylinders. My throttle is a quick turn throttle, so if you look, that's nothing, and that's full throttle. So you have from here to here. That's all you're doing for all of it. So lap timer, gear indicator was added. All the newer stuff has that. But yeah, it's just a money pit from the start, but it's a great time. I highly recommend it to everybody. If you're in bikes, you'll learn a bunch. You'll be a much safer rider, even if you're not trying to do it to go racing, anything like that. You're gonna have a good time. You're gonna learn, you're gonna be more comfortable on your bike, and in the end, you'll be safer even out on the street riding. So highly recommend it. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments, and I will answer all of the questions that I can. But as you can see, case covers on this side. The hoses, my stock ones started leaking. They were the original from 06, so I just went ahead and did the whole silicone kit. Is there a difference? Probably not, but they look good, so whatever. But looks like we are drained. Let's make sure we got nothing left in here. Yep, she's empty. Give it a couple squeezes. This engine ice, if you look at it, ready to use, pre-diluted, so you don't need to add any water to it. And like I said, the main reason I'm doing this is because it is going to be cold this weekend, below freezing, and it freeze protection up to -7 degrees Fahrenheit. So that is my reasoning for it if you needed it. I just start pumping some hoses, trying to work all the air bubbles out. Let it all bubble out. We're still getting bubbles. Well, it is the next morning. We're leaving in a few hours. Coolant's done. We're just going to do the oil change and then pack up. I did change the oil in the generator too. I just didn't film it. I'll clean and lube the chain when I get there. But I just got it warming up for the oil change right now. So I always use the high flows. They're nice. They're kind of like the K&Ns, but they don't fall apart. But I've never had a problem with them, so I just keep using them. Fill her up. Take a little bit, lube that seal. Just hand tight when you put it on, and then you'll be amazed at how tight it is when you go to take it off. Clean around the drain hole, take a drain bolt, try and do at least a little bit of cleaning on everything that I take apart. Nothing too crazy there. Put this guy on. Make sure that goes through there. It's on. Alright, everything's good, that's tight. Get this out of the way now. Now we are on the stands, so it may not be 100% accurate, but once I get it down on the ground, I'll check again and make sure, and I'll top it off if needed. On these R6s, you do not screw it in, just push it in. Oh, caught it. Pull it out, and we are gravy. But like I said, once I'm on the ground, I'll double check it, and if it needs to be topped off a little bit, I'll top it off, but we should be good. Just like that. No straps, nothing. Bike's not going anywhere. And your suspension's not all strapped down, causing any leaks or anything. So that's the Pitbull TRS, and you see how fast I did it by myself, minus a little broken handguard catching the net. But other than that, yeah, can't beat it. I literally would not transport my bike any other way than this. Alright, well, I'll get back when I'm on the road. Alright, well, we are officially on the road. We got the Zuma in the back with those dingleberries hanging from the handlebars, and it is just open road so far. About a 2-hour drive, not too bad. And then we'll get set up and ready for a good weekend. Well, we have made it. That's it for this video. I'll probably throw in a couple clips riding at the end of it. But yeah, next video will be some riding clips from this track day.